Alright, CSS battle time, and we have a hungry guy. That's pretty cool. Looks fun. It also looks like some funky border radius values. So, we have that. But I think this is one of those times we're not going to use set values, but percentages might be our friend. And then at least we only have to do 2 of them, I think, to make this work. No, we probably have to do more than that because of the curve coming down all the way around here. That is, yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to take advantage of that. All right, let's do, what I do think I can do is box shadow, um, uh, 5 inches, 0, and green. Let's see if 5 inches goes all the way across the screen. Okay. We won't see that yet until we margin. I can't do just 5 inches because, yeah, it'll go across, but only from the side. So I'd have to do negative on the other direction. No, it still wouldn't work. Yep, we got to use the radius. I can't, I can get away with that on an inset, but not this way. And let's say 9 inch. Let's just not even mess around with that, and then margin it down. There we are. Okay, let's go border radius. And you know what? I changed my mind. I'm not border radiusing it yet. Let's get our sides in. The sides are there, I think, actually. The top is going to need to be like 200. The bottom is 0. Okay. Bottom's probably going to need to be less than that, just so we get the right curvature of everything. So 200 is too much. 150, 160. All right. So we got our edges. Does this need to be more? Nope, it needs to be 100 because down at the bottom, that's just the border radius we're seeing. All right, so 50% is not right. 40, 30, 25. Okay, actually, new plan. Let's see. I'm looking at the top left corner. I'm going to set that one first for. I have a hunch. Nope. 1 inch. Nope. I was better off with 4M. Okay. I'm going to start right there. And then we're going to go 50%. 0, 0. 60, 70. That's pretty spot on. I'm going to go with 70 for right now. This one's not quite right. Let's go back to a percentage. Yeah, I thought that might be more. 69. I knew these would be a problem. That's why I jumped straight into this without trying to get too fancy. It's not wanting to actually go any bigger on that. Oops. 1 inch is not right. 2 inches is not right. Hmm, 150 seems decent. Ooh, that seems, no, 39. That looks like a good combination. I'm not going to mess with this now for the moment. What we could do is, I wonder. If we up this, there we go. Interesting. It's interesting how it ends up changing those other ones, but I wonder if I set this to a hard value, if that will change. 80, 150, 0. They're all playing. Oh, the reason why I was adding those was actually I looked at these here, and since these elements, I'm gonna just do an element, 2 elements for them. Since they have full circle or an even border radius. I was wondering if adding a border radius will help. I think I just have to do another border radius. So let's just get this on there. 82, 83, 78. They move each other, which is difficult. Oh, that looks perfect. Okay, 75 and 150. Okay. I understand the ratio now, I think. I think we can't really, I want the border radius to be there, but that's not going to work. All right, I think the body, should it be the green thing? I'm going to have to declare the green thing again, so that box shadow isn't saving me anything. All right, let's think about this. If I put a background on the HTML instead of that big box shadow, the mouth portion I don't think I can get away with doing that as another box shadow off of anything. I probably could, actually. I could put the body. Okay, all right, here's the idea. We don't, okay, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to put an outline on the body. It's going to be, why am I started thinking about other things, and I just completely blanked on this. All right, so there's our body. Let's make it red, just because then we'll be able to distinguish it from, no, the black thing. The black thing is going to be a paragraph tag, so it can actually be black. So let's make it the right size and shape. 20 or some, I don't know, something like that. Let's just get it on paper. 2 inch. There we go. Let's bring the top and bottom down more. What I'm hoping to do is make it the right size. Oh, 50, 40, 20. All right. All right. Let's box shadow it, and then we'll see if we can condense those. Let's go 0, -50 pixels. There we go. So if we increase this 130, actually I want to bring this up. I want to bring this up to where the paragraph tag won't be overflowing. Right there. Yeah. I want it so the paragraph tag sits inside the body, and the body is just a nice little box shadow. There we go. 50 pixels, 100, 120. Oh, see, that's pretty nice. I like that. Okay. So there we have another green box shadow, which is convenient because that makes it a little bit easier to condense. And I feel like if I can make this an M value, I could hide that whole expanding box shadow that would cover everything. Let's see. I'm going to do that one. I think 9M is not big enough. Yeah, that's what I thought. So we have to add a character, but we're okay with that. And then we can add this box shadow. I think it goes before it. Perfect. Let's take that off. Let's change this to an and. Our border radius is overwritten, our margin is overwritten, and now our box shadow is overwriting everything until we say font 0A. Okay, and we can get rid of the box shadow. And everything's hunky-dory. Okay, good. Now we have a good border radius for a paragraph tag that we're throwing in here. Let's do that. Oops. do that properly here. Let's get rid of the closing tag. We don't need a closing tag. We don't do that here. Proper CSS. What did I break? I broke something. I took the outline out. And I broke something. Is it... Oh, our paragraph tag. It's getting a box shadow. It is getting a box shadow. So what I could do is add to the original tag to isolate the body. Because I think our paragraph tag, let's go margin 0. Yeah, that's what I No, that's not what I thought. I don't know what I thought. But it is going to have a box shadow. Just if it's the right color, it's going to be down out of the way. Should be, yeah. Down 40 pixels and over 120. That should be off screen, and it's green. It'll be out in the green field, you know, so we won't see it. So actually, I should be all right. Let's put our outline on here, and let's just see what we're working with. Okay. Height 20. No. Okay. It's going to be like 15. All right. There's our little box shadow, but let's get this margin going. Let's go 0 on the top and bottom, and then let's go 100. Nope. 50. 60. We're not quite in the right spot. That's okay. That was the right-hand side, so let's actually write that properly. Okay, 20 there, and 0 on the bottom. Let's go actually 10 on the top. Yeah, that's what I thought. Let's go -10. Nope, that's just causing overflow. Let's see if a period fixes it. Yeah. Hopefully that doesn't... Oh, we have the color property here, so the period won't show up. Or we're going to use the color property, so it shouldn't show up. All right, so 15 doesn't look big enough. 20? That's a bit better. Okay, and 10. There we go. Let's get our left-hand margin. 100, even 100. Beautiful. Okay. And the best way I can think of coloring it is a background of black. If we did a box shadow inset, could we? Like if we had... Okay, if it's underneath... No, that won't work. It just saved me from writing a background if I could work it into the box shadow. I'm thinking if I do the inset from the... It's just better to write a background than an inset. But if we did it from the right-hand side in, where would it show up? It would show up on the body here, too. So that wouldn't help any. And there's a way to hide it from the HTML because it has this big one here, and we just put it underneath it, you know. But when that disappears, it disappears on the body. So we wouldn't be able to hide it there. So, all right, we're running up on time. Wrong one. Let's get our outline out of there. Okay, we have our little guy. Let's just see how we are on our border radiuses and everything. Just see if we got a solution, and I can be happy with it. Okay. Let's do some simple reductions and call it a night. All right, this is 50 VH, so that would be 25 VH, but I don't really care for that. That doesn't save me any, you know, characters. 100, I wonder if that's like 25%? Yes, it is. I didn't save any characters because we already got rid of that space because of the minus, but I'm not changing it. Let's see if this is like 40%. Oh, it was. That was a guess. And it was. I can't use 5CH for 40 here. That's a disappointing thing because I did the font trick. So let's see what it does for Q. Let's hit submit. That's not a one-to-one like all the others, so let's just see what it does. All right, we're good. And then this will be 30 VW. Okay, that one was pretty fun, actually. Let's see if we can get away with something here. 78, 79, 80. Ooh, that looks good. Looks good. Let's see if it accepts it. And, you know, I didn't get too fancy on this, but I'm actually fairly happy with this solution. I wonder if instead of doing this border radius, oh no, that won't work. I was going to say do font here, but maybe we could do like line height values here. And then amplify the line height with your second input on the font. And then that would create, yeah, just make it work a little bit better. Not work a bit better, but save me from having to write a whole nother border radius. We're already using font, but then we could do that. I still haven't set it up to be able to run the previewer and then check the line height, how it would actually look. It does not render properly on my laptop, so the diff has to look horrible for it to be right, and just not worth chasing. We can reposition our paragraph tag and values. Let's take all of that up here. And we're still good, didn't break anything. And we can come back and do that so that when we take all the spaces, we just get one more space out of things. You know, it's just optimum positioning of elements in the nesting. Because even though we have to have a curly brace here, we can get rid of one more semicolon. And so it becomes yeah, it doesn't matter that the p tag is nested that way. It's the same as if it was last in the nesting. I like to write it last in the nesting because it's easier to read while doing all this. But it doesn't have to be. 196 characters. I don't think that's a great score. It's not going to win any prizes, but for what I was expecting to get out of this one, I'm happy with it. So, cool. I hope you're having fun, and I will catch you later.